fifth edition of the High Table, which is an inter-college boardroom discussion. It is a highly interactive platform that aims to provide an opportunity to test the problem solving and critical thinking skills of participants through the means of a boardroom simulation. To double the enthusiasm and experience of our participants and judges, we also are doing a live stream of the competition, which will be available for broadcast on YouTube on the channel ESL Aryabhatta. You can stay tuned on that. And we would like to cordially and extend our sincere thanks to our chief patron, Mr. Manoj Sinha, and the faculty members and teachers, including Ruchi ma'am, who is here in attendance with us, for their constant support in making this event possible. And now I would like to invite our moderators for the event to please take over.
Okay, thank you, Yash. We will just start in a second. And first, we are going to introduce our judges today. We have got the presence of Honorable Ms. Saskriti Pandey, who is an investment associate at Terra Investment, and she is a chartered accountant by profession, an SRCC Gold Medalist by education, and official LinkedIn creator by passion. She also has bagged some great accolades, like she has been awarded by esteemed personalities like the Honorable Chief Election Commissioner of India, Mrs. Smriti Irani, then Indian Cabinet Minister, for various works in the field of finance. She has also been awarded as one of the top 100 women creators of India and has been bestowed upon the title of Iconic Women Changing World for All by World Economic Forum. We are thankful for her presence with us. Now, next, we have our second judge, and she is Ms. Tanusha Arora, who has just completed her undergrad from Sahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies. She is a top voice and a part of LinkedIn for Creators program at LinkedIn. She is a part of TopMate iOS 1% Club and Super Mentor as well. She had a diverse experience throughout her academic journey at various companies like with Havells, EXL, and other live projects. She has also been mentioned by DU Beats 21 under 21 and recognized as all-rounder strengths. We are thankful for you to host today, ma'am. And now we are going to announce the orders of the team that is to be followed today in this event. So at first, we the team that is going to come at first to present their case is IIT Roorkee. Is IIT Roorkee present here? Just give me a thumbs up, boys. Okay, all right. So the next is Team NSUT. Is Team NSUT all the members present? Give it thumbs up. Okay, thank you so much. Now next is Team Aryabhatta. All the members from Team Aryabhatta present. Give a thumbs up. So that will be our today's order. First is going to be IIT Roorkee presenting the case. Second is going to be NSUT. And third is Aryabhatta.
Now, I would like you to guide for today's event. I'll tell you the rules and guidelines for today. The first rule is that three people will make up each team, and each team member will represent a top level management, which today is operations, HR, and finance. And they will have to investigate a specific issue related to their field, hence solving one problem each. And each team has to present problems for all three problem sets, and they're also required to have a counter or support the solution provided by other teams. Third is that each C-suite member is allowed to engage only in the proceedings and problems of their particular field. For example, if a CFO is representing a financial case study, then only other CFOs of the other teams can interrupt and uh, have interrupt in the proceedings of the CFO. Similarly, in the CHRO and COO. And the order of the speech as specified with Vishwas is IIT Roorkee, NSUT, and then Aryabhatta. One important rule is that each person's speech limit is 5 minutes, exceeding which judges may deduct marks accordingly. And we will be giving a 30-second left mark in the text box. And after all the speeches are complete, we will have an open stage for debate for 5 minutes only to counter argument each one speech. And the board members each have to reach a conclusion mutually in this 5 minute debate, disapprove, discuss, and modify the inputs of each other. And the judge's decision, once made, is final. Now, let us begin with the meeting. I would like to call upon the judges to start.
Before that, I request all the members to turn on their cameras for a better participation. I also request the judges if they could turn on their cameras and all the other participants too. So at first we will start with finance piece, and for that the CFOs shall be ready to present their case. And once again, let me remind you all that you all will be given 5 minutes, strictly 5 minutes time to present your case. So it's my request to all to adhere the time limit so that we can finish it at a time. I will ask the judges if they are ready. Shall we begin? Is ready?
Hello everyone, I am Manthan. I am Manthan from IIT Roorkee, and I'll be represented as the CFO of Nokia. So our major focus areas will be on delayed response of smartphone trends, partnership decisions, organization inefficiencies, and ecosystem weaknesses. So let me just introduce you with the problem. Before the widespread adoption of smartphones, feature phones were the dominant mobile devices with 37.8% market share of Nokia in 2007. But soon, this competitive edge was shaken by the announcement of Apple iPhone 2G in 2007. Samsung and other Android operating system companies started developing their system, which attracted a majority of customer segments. Soon, Nokia started losing its competitive edge, and market share fell down from 37.8% in 2007 to 11% in 2014. Nokia continued to focus on feature phones while competitors rapidly advanced in the smartphone market. Nokia's initial smartphone offerings, such as Symbian operating system based devices, were seen as outdated compared to iOS and Android devices. This delay in transition to smartphone and technological lags meant Nokia missed out on an early market share and customer adoption. Stephen Elop was soon appointed as the CEO of Nokia in September 2010, and on 11 February 2011, he announced a partnership with Microsoft. Under his leadership, Nokia decided to take a transition from Symbian to Windows Phone. Main aim was to differentiate itself from Android and iOS devices by offering a distinctive lifestyle interface along with several other key features such as better performance on low-end devices and regaining customer confidence by partnering with globally recognized brand. Despite these reasons, the shift to Windows Phone did not achieve the intended results. The app ecosystem did not grow quickly, and Windows Phone struggled to gain significant market share against the position of iOS and Android. In 2013, Microsoft acquired Nokia to strengthen its mobile market presence, leverage Nokia's expertise and distribution network, and create a more integrated hardware to software ecosystem. While the strategic rationale sounded good, execution challenges and market dynamics hindered the success of this ambitious move. Let me discuss some execution challenges that were involved in Microsoft and Nokia's partnership. There were differences in work practices, decision-making processes, and corporate ethics, which led to internal conflicts. Merging operations, supply chains, and business processes between the two companies was complex and time-consuming, leading to inefficiencies and delays. The Windows Phone platform struggled to gain traction because of its limited ecosystem and app variety compared to Android and iOS. Lack of application and consumer base disappointed both customer and developers respectively, creating a cycle where a small user base discouraged developers from investing in the platform, further limiting its growth and attractiveness. Nokia invested heavily in transitioning its smartphone lineup from Symbian and Migo to Windows Phone. This included retraining staff, re-engineering hardware to be compatible with Windows Phone, and developing new devices. By the end of 2011, Windows Phone market share was approximately 1.5 to 2%. This was despite the partnership between Nokia and Microsoft and the launch of Nokia Lumia smartphones. Android market share was 50%. Its open source nature and adoption by multiple manufacturers contributed to its rapid growth. iOS was still at 15 to 20%. Symbian, which was owned by Nokia, had a market share of 30% at the beginning of 2011, which then fell to less than 10% by the end of 2011. There were some major organizational inefficiencies as well. Nokia's organizational structure was highly hierarchical with multiple layers of management, leading to slow decision-making processes. The company had untruncated bureaucratic processes that delayed the approval and execution of new initiatives. Nokia's leadership was often risk-adverse, preferring to stick with a tried and tested method rather than experimenting with new and potentially disruptive technologies. Nokia's operations spanned multiple countries and regions, making coordination complex and time-consuming. Further steps were taken to reduce these inefficiencies. Nokia began restructuring efforts to flatten its organizational structure and reduce management layer. As part of the restructuring, regional units were given more autonomy to make decisions. On September 2010, Stephen Elop was appointed as CEO of Nokia. His leadership marked a significant shift of the company strategy and management approach. Following Elop's appointment, there was a comprehensive overhaul of the senior management team. This included bringing in new executives with experience in turnaround and innovation to drive the cultural and strategic changes needed within Nokia. Despite high investment in research and development, ranging from 5.5 billion euros to 6 billion euros, we can see lower returns. The increasing research and development as a percentage of revenue, which was approximately 11% in 2007, which increased in 2000, which increased to 21.74% in 2013, indicated inefficiency in research and development allocation and execution. So let me just discuss a hypothetical scenario if Nokia would have adopted Android instead of Microsoft. The potential market share could have been 1.2% in 2011 as compared to just 0.5% of Lumina smartphones, which is further projected to 8.5% in 2014 as compared to 2.7% in 2014. So this could have resulted in higher revenue potentials by increasing sales and cost saving, as they would have reduced need for extensive marketing and development efforts to build ecosystem from scratch. So these things could have resulted in better competitive positioning. So this was my report as a CFO of Nokia.
Uh, Now, next, I would like to call upon the CFO from in NSUT.
Hello, am I audible?
You are.
So as a CFO of as a CFO at Nokia, I would like to present my assessment on the downfall of Nokia. The Nokia being the dominant mobile phone producer in the 2007 and 2008 in the Great Economic Recession of 2008 has significantly failed with the emergence of new smartphones. The major impact is due to the non-investment in these new technologies such as smartphone, touchscreens, Android, and etc. In the 2008, the Nokia has 5.8 billion US dollar profit, which fall to 3 billion US dollar in 2013, and ultimately leading to its downfall. And their operating profit also falls to from 8.5 billion US dollar to 0.5 billion dollar in 2013. Also, their merger with Microsoft is also a failure, as Windows Phone. No one would like to purchase a new operating system mobile. Uh,
Uh, can you try once again, Ishan? We will just start the timer once again for you. Ishan,
Excuse me, sir, if I'd allowed to intervene. Sir, there is like a commotion at his house right now, so could he get like uh, some time to settle it down?
we are ready to wait for 2-3 more minutes. If we can restart.
Okay, sir.
I would like to ask you this if that's okay with them. Are the judges okay with that? Tanusha ma'am and Mr.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Are you asking something to me?
Okay. So for now, I will ask the CFO from the Aryabhatta team to restart to start their presenting their case. Till then, uh, Karthik asked Ishan to get back in network and restart.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I am Tanu Singhal, acting CFO of Nokia. In today's meeting, I would like to address some major financial issues such as declining share price, strategic missteps, and operating losses. It would require a comprehensive and multi-phase strategy. First, I would like to highlight some major issues causing the problem. First in this would be the delayed decision to smartphone trend. Our share market in smartphone declined sharply from the peak of 40% in 2007 to less than 3% by 2012. And also, our annual smartphone sales reduced from 100 million units in 2010 to just 35 units in 2013. Second reason is the partnership decision, which was adopting Windows Phone. At the time when Android and iPhone was growing market, we invested approximately 1 billion in developing and marketing Windows Phone. Windows share peaked at 10% in certain European markets, but the problem was that it failed to win the significant recognition globally. And as we focus more on European market than the India, despite knowing that India was a growing market. The third reason could be the organizational efficiency and inefficiency. Our operating expenses increased by 20% between 2008 and 2012, which was due to the high R&D costs, reconstructing charges, and our workforce reduced from 128,000 employees in 2008 to 87,000 employees in 2012. Fourth major reason could be the ecosystem weakness. Nokia Store had over 5 million downloads per day, but it still struggled to attract developers compared to Apple Store and Google Play, which led to lack of availability in Nokia devices, which was only 1 lakh apps, while millions of apps available in the competitive platforms. It led to severe decline in the revenue to 23.2 billion in 2013 and hence decline in the operating profit and EBITDA to 1.1 billion and 2.7 billion respectively in 2013. To address this problem, I came up with a multiple solution. Firstly, we will have to establish a research committee to do the consumer and market research, and we have to increase our R&D expenses by 15% annually over the next 3 years. Our goal will be to launch at least 10 new smartphone models each year and reduce our time to market for the new products by 25%. This investment, which would be approx 2.5 billion, will not only drive innovation but will also enhance competitive edge. Next, to diversify our approach, we will develop dual OS strategy. Investing in both Android and our proprietary OS, we aim to capture 15% of Android market within the 3 years. We will launch three Android-based smartphones annually, targeting sale volume of 50 million units by 2025. This strategic alliance with the OS providers will enhance our ecosystem integration and also our app availability. Next, we will implement the cost reduction program, targeting a 1 billion reduction in the operating expenses by consolidating manufacturing facilities and optimizing the supply chain logistics. And then by adopting lean manufacturing principles, we project a 15% reduction in the manufacturing cost by 2023. Uh, our aim is to achieve a 20% increase in the operational efficiency, such as inventory turnover and the labor productivity, which we can achieve by applying an incentive system. After completing any given target, an employee will get a certain number of points, for example, 2 points for particular task, and by collecting a certain number of points, they will get paid incentives such as paid holiday, a bonus, or employee recognition, etc. This will not only increase the morale to work and will also increase the efficiency and increase the brand trust for the employer. With the help of these, we can also support the unproductive workers and can hence reduce the cost. And next, to enhance our ecosystem, we will establish a 100 million fund to hire app developer to create exclusive content for Nokia devices. Our target is to increase the app download by 50% in the next 2 years, and we will build same quality body of our smartphone for which we were known before, and we will advertise it positively with the help of social media influencers, which can further become our USP of the business. Next, we will to this will help to maintain the brand trust among the consumers. And to execute this plan successfully, as our plan is data driven, we will monitor quarterly our revenue growth, aiming for the 10% increase year to year, and we will track quarterly month market share reports uh, with the target of 5% shares of the global smartphone market by 2025. Furthermore, we will analyze stock price movements uh, post-implementation of our strategic incentives. I believe by doing this, we will reclaim our position as a leader in the smartphone market. Thank you.
Okay. So, Karthik, can you confirm you share your screen?
Hello, hello. Sir, I'm back. वो थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू था. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
तो सर रीस्टार्ट कर दूं? Vishwas?
You can restart.
Okay, thank you. So, as a chief financial officer in Nokia, I would like to assess the impact of delayed response to smartphone trends, partnership decisions, and the organizational inefficiencies. First of all, I would like to start with the yearly analysis of their share price and the market capital and the key events. In the year 2007, the average share price of the Nokia was $34 with the market capital of 153 billion US dollars, and they were the market leader in the featured mobile phone market. In the year 2008, with the global financial crisis, they are still at the market capital of 126 billion US dollar and with the average share of price of 28 US dollar, and still a major player in the market. In the year 2009, with the introduction of the smartphone, their share price falls drastically to a 20 US dollar and the market cap to 90 billion US dollar. In the 2010, the share price continued to decline to 12 US dollar and the market capital to 54 billion US dollar. In the 2011, they introduced a market partnership Microsoft, but their price again fall drastically to the 8 US dollar and the market capital to 36 billion US dollar. In the 2013, when their share price even fall more to the 3 US dollar and the market cap to 13 billion US dollar, the board members decided to sell the division of sale division and the production division to Microsoft, and hence the feature mobile phone of the Nokia discontinued. In 2007, the traditional mobile phone share was 95% and the smartphone were 5%. So Nokia invested more into this traditional phone as compared to smartphone, uh, keeping in his mind that traditional phone will continue. But they ignored the fact that the smartphone are the emerging futures, and thus they don't invest in the smartphone market. With the subsequent years, in the 2011, the traditional phone share was 60% and the smartphone was 40%. And the Nokia downfall started there in the 2013. The traditional phone market share was 30% and the smartphone was 70, and the Nokia failed. Also, the Nokia didn't invest more.
Ishan, could you please turn on your camera? Yeah.
uh, the Nokia also didn't invest much in the R&D. Their R&D investment remained the same throughout the entire course of their downfall 2007 to 2013. Their average R&D investment in billion US dollar was 7 billion US dollar. The major portion was still in the traditional mobile phone as compared to smartphone, and a small portion of other technologies like new operating system, new network, and other things. Uh, according to me, the major key points in the downfall Nokia was lack of research and development investment and not coming with the emerging trends. Thank you.
Okay, Ishan, if your time is remaining, have you completed your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we have completed the financial case studies. Now the floor is open for discussion for questioning rounds. So each one of you can question each other.
I do have a question for Ishan. Ishan just mentioned that there was a lack of investment in research and development. Right, Ishan?
Yes, Matan.
You just mentioned that there was a lack of investment in research and development from Nokia side.
Yep.
Uh, According to my research, there was an investment ranging from 5.5 billion euros to 6 billion euros, which was approximately 11% of their revenues, which then further in 2007, which then further increased to 21.74% in 2013. So how can you say that there was a lack of investment in research and development when a company is allocated
In the
such
lack of investment in R&D in the new emerging trends, they have invested their money in the traditional mobile phone. They have not invested in the new technologies like new network devices and their precision and the smartphones.
Nokia did just entered a partnership with Microsoft and in 2013 they increased their research and development investment to 21.74%.
तो 2013 में उनका प्रॉफिट तो कम था, तो लाइक 2013 में उनके स्मार्टफोन में इन्वेस्टमेंट 1.3 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर थी और ट्रेडिशनल फोन्स में भी 3 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स थी. तो लाइक तब लाइक आपने अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट का परसेंटेज इंक्रीज किया पर आपका प्रॉफिट ड्रॉप हुआ तो आपका अमाउंट भी कम हुआ है एंड आपने स्टिल अभी अपने ट्रेडिशनल फोन में इन्वेस्ट किया है एज कम्पेयर टू द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज.
So how do you want कि नोकिया कहाँ से फंड्स लाए एंड वो एलोकेट करे रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट?
लाइक उनको तो पता है ट्रेडिशनल फोन के यूजर्स कम हो चुके हैं तो लाइक
Sorry to interrupt. Ishan and Manthan, can you please turn on cameras?
तो लाइक आपको पता था आपके ट्रेडिशनल फोन यूजर्स कम हो चुके हैं तो आप मोर अपना जो ज़्यादा R&D जो बजट है आप स्मार्टफोन्स पे इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. तो उनकी वजह से जो मेरे पास डेटा अवेलेबल है 2013 में उन्होंने ट्रेडिशनल फोन में 4 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर इन्वेस्ट किया है वेयर स्मार्टफोन्स में 1.2 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर इन्वेस्ट किया है. Manthan, you are on mute.
Can you please repeat the point that you just said?
लाइक आपको तो पता है कि आपके ट्रेडिशनल फोन यूजर्स कम हो चुके हैं जो हमारे फीचर मोबाइल फोन्स होते थे. आप अपना R&D का जो बजट है आप नए टेक्नोलॉजी स्मार्टफोन्स में इन्वेस्ट करोगे.
Nokia did just नोकिया ने बंद कर दिया था 2011 में, उनका कंप्लीटली शिफ्ट हुआ था विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की तरफ।
नहीं, स्टिल उनका इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रेडिशनल फोन्स पे भी था। $3 बिलियन US, $4 बिलियन US था ट्रेडिशनल पे, 1.2 था उनका स्मार्टफोन्स पे।
कैन यू प्लीज आपका ये डेटा कहाँ से अवेलेबल है?
ये नोकिया की उसमें था, लाइक उनकी फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट चेक करी थी 2013 की।
कैन यू प्लीज मेंशन द एग्जैक्ट पेजेस एंड
वो
पैराग्राफ्स?
मुझे एक सर्च करनी पड़ेगी हिस्ट्री में, आपको सर्च करके दे सकता हूँ।
Sure.
I have question for Manthan.
Yes, sure.
You said we have to regain our market shares in the coming year. So what was the plan that you presented to regain that market share? Like
Can you please elaborate that question? I'm not getting that.
You said you want to regain your market share over the years. So what was the plan that you proposed to regain that market share?
I didn't mention that thing in my opinion.
You mentioned.
It was not my saying.
Sorry?
I didn't mention that thing that we have to regain our market shares.
In the starting of speech, when you were pointing out the problems, you said that we didn't have the much market share, and we have to regain that.
I was just mentioning that we didn't had those market shares, and we are according to the practices that Nokia is following, we are having a downstroke on that particular thing.
Okay.
Actually, do have a question for Tanu. As you did mention that there were many solutions that you proposed.
Manthan, our time limit has exceeded for the question round. So I would like to call upon the judges to reduce the solutions and if they have to say something on this issue.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Right, so basically, no, not much on the solution part because you all actually suggested good solutions, that's okay. But I would really like to comment upon how you're approaching this. I liked one or two points. I won't name who or what exactly points I liked. But here's the thing. When we say that, talk about numbers and everything and support it from data, don't fuss a lot about what happened in the past and talk about numbers, at that point of time. But no, focus more on the quantification when it comes to the solutions, or, how impactful it can be in the terms of numbers in your solutions, and not exactly what happened. Okay, this was the EBITDA, this was it, this happened. We know what happened in the past. That's not the point. Stress more on the solutions part. Okay, number one. And number two, be a little more confident and always switch on your videos. Why were videos not on? I don't get it in the beginning. I waited. See, here's the thing. Panel maybe won't ask you to switch on the videos, but if you're here in an online competition, it is a very general rule that you must know that whenever you are presenting, you should and you must or switch on your videos and be respectful and in actually professional outfit, because it's a competition. I get it, it's online, that's okay, but that's a part of the lifestyle now we are in. That doesn't mean that you have to compromise on how you look or how you present yourself. And I get it that PPTs were not a part of this online competition, but from the next time, whenever you guys go for another competition, definitely make PPTs. Not only because, well, PPT is the way to present, no, because it actually happens in businesses in real life. I mean, I just presented a PPT deck right now at an 8 a.m. morning today, because I was proposing some solutions to some stuff at my firm. So PPT is the way in businesses. So do not think it of just another MS Office tool. No, it is as important as Excel is going to be in your professional life. Okay, everything is all right. Just be more confident, be more enunciate well. I mean, you need to know that this is an online competition and network things happen. Please speak clearly, a little more loudly, and emphasize on the more important parts. And yeah, that's it. I can go on and on. I'll just restrict myself. Okay.
I totally agree with Sanskriti. One thing which I have not seen in the answers is novelty. That is, what exactly you would do as a CFO. That is what was asked. What thode points से some of the points which were relevant, but more or less what was the focus was on what has happened in the past. That was the news you guys came up with. So good on the GK part, but when it comes to giving solutions, you have to have a funnel, you have to have an approach, you have to mention your approach, that is your thinking capacity कि आपने किस तरीके से सोचा and how you have achieved something. And when exactly as Sanskriti mentioned, when numbers are to be talked about, you mention how you're using them for your analysis. It's not just about what you can find in a company's report or what can be seen from the internet. It's about what is your number, like jum guesstimate nikalte hain, something like that, which you have used a certain other numbers to come up to one logical number. That is something which I could not see in the answers. So hopefully we have more solutions coming up in HR and operations. That is what you would have done in the place of Nokia, and not what Nokia did actually. So yeah, and of course all the other points, that is to focus on confidence and to brush up your soft skills. Yeah.
Now, I'd like to invite the CHROs of each team to start. First of all, IIT Roorkee, please turn on your camera and start.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone present here. And this is a very important meeting and a very needed one following the strikes that we have faced in the recent times. And for this to get to the root of the problem, I will be implementing the 3 why solutions. Through after applying the 3 whys, we will be able to drill down to the fundamental causes of this strike, through which we will also be able to improve our status in the community, the factory, as well as the overall social stigma around Nokia and its workers. So let's see the front on issue that we are facing. The front on issue that we are facing is the strikes. The strikes that the workers have caused, and this strike has resulted in the disruption of the production at the Boardroom factory and causing huge financial losses for Nokia. Now, we will be applying our first why. So why did this strike happen at the first place? This strike happened because we planned 60,000 job cuts across Europe, and this Bochum factory in Germany was the worst impacted factory in the area, which resulted in our employees' dissatisfaction. And there was also not very clear communication regarding severance packages and what was the criteria followed for layoffs. So at this step, we can't do anything because this was already decided what to do. Now we have to see why it was decided that we have to lay off our employees, as well as why there was a communication gap between the employees. So for first, we'll be looking at why there was a severe lack of communication regarding severance packages, and then we will be applying a second why, like why there was lack of communication and why there was job cut. And for regarding job cuts, as I see that our financial numbers have been increasing every year, and our profits have been increasing, our EBITDAs have been increasing, yet there was huge job cuts in the Europe market. For this, I would like to interact with our CFO and other members from the financial suite, so that we can work upon this and see why there was job cuts in the first place. Now, this can be done later on, but for the proactive measures and dealing the immediate situation that we are facing, we have to look at why there was lack of communication and not enough was done to avoid this in the first place. Now, this will help us get to the human side of the human resources part, like why there was a lack of transparency and clear communication for layoff and paychecks. First, we understand that there are no communication channels established across Nokia's plants, which are a very standard operating procedures across various factories in the world. Various factories like Toyota, which follow lean production, and there was no feedback mechanisms for HR department to actually know what was wrong. So I believe the strategies that we should follow should be more proactive and standard operating procedure based, SOP based, to deal with the different situations that we are in hand. Like first would be the immediate actions we should be going for to avoid this in the first place. Then what would be the short-term measures should be taken, and then the long-term measures. For immediate action, open forums should be opened, feedback mechanisms and town hall should be conducted immediately to know actually what the workers are facing. For short-term measures, career counseling should be provided, like what else they should do in their life, and they should be provided mental health counselors, though it would be difficult, as if we are doing job cuts, and then also we will have to create new jobs, like for the career counselors as well as mental health, but we have to somehow do it. And then regular employee involvement activities should be taken, and pulse surveys should be taken to actually know what the workers are feeling on the ground. And the people who should be taking these surveys should not be actually from the factory. These people should be coming from the Nokia headquarters, so that there are no biases involved. There are no people should not be involved in any malpractices also. And the foremost and the most needed system is the grievance redressal system. I know that it is in place already, but we have to work upon it in a major way, so that all the loopholes can be found and the leakages should be fixed. And the last and the foremost thing should be that employees, and to deal with blue collar jobs, the respect and the recognition is needed. As I studied in a case study done by Harvard for the Taj hotels, they deal the Taj hotel the frontline staff as their brand ambassadors, and if a customer praises any staff member, they are recognized then and there in front of every staff member. And then the monetary part comes second, which is provided monthly and not on a yearly basis, so that there is quick gratification, and the workers and the staff members can actually recognize their worth. So I think the recognition and grievance redressal system is a must to avoid these kind of situations. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite CHRO from NSUT.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Now, basically, we have to first focus on what the problems were, right? And like that we have assessed the problems were that there are many financial losses for Nokia, and like the employees' morale and job satisfaction is declining due to uncertainty and tension because many 60,000 layoffs are planned, and that the strike damaged the reputation of Nokia as a good employer. So first of all, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, recession started in February 2020. So, and because of Nokia not being a giant in the smartphone industry, something like this was bound to happen in the near future. Now we have to focus on what the solutions of the problem could be, right? Because we have to defend our reputation. We have to defend the reputation of our company, and like we have to also foster uh, positive feelings in minds of employees so that it does not spread the negative ill will, right? So first of all, the active strategies that we could invest in are transparent communication. Giving them regular updates, and like being very clear about the processes we are going to follow when and if we are laying off employees, and when and if they are being rewarded, right? Because if communication is not clear between the senior authorities and the junior authorities, then it will obviously create a situation of tension, right? And this is very clearly highlighted. I'm using a reference here. It was from the CEO of Airbnb's, Brian Chesky. He, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, as people were not traveling across the world, he wrote a heartfelt, gratitude-filled letter to all the employees that they have to be laid off because the company is not making profits anymore because of the pandemic, and it was very appreciated by all the employees of the company because he directly approached them and took the problem that he had to them as well. He included them. The second solution is that we should involve the employees, which is related to the first solution as well. That because we have to like include our employees, and because seniors need to know the grievances of all the employees that are in the company, we can include employee involvement and build a structure like the democracy, that every factory have some specific leaders elected by them, and then it goes on, the hierarchy goes on, so that all the grievances and complaints are reported to the senior officials. We can also take example from Google. They have TGIF, which is thank God it's Friday, which is like that's a chance where the employees directly get to interact with the senior officials. It was done weekly, but now it's been reduced to monthly because of the large inflow of similar complaints. So its frequency was reduced, but it's definitely a solution. We can take it from them. Then we can build support systems, and the support systems could be outplacement services and as well as severance packages. Outplacement services are basically where we train our employees that if you are being laid off, you will have this much. We will train you to get a better job, or like get another job rated to current standards. And severance packages are what like something like retribution money that we give to people in so that they can live off of it because they have worked in the company so long. And this was done again by Airbnb, that severance packages were given to all the employees which were laid off, and advance pay for 6 months. And when IBM had a strike, it laid and it had to lay off more than 20,000 employees of it, they started their outplacement services to defend the reputation of the company. We can also, because even in this is also a recent case, the Bhopal gas tragedy, Union Carbide did not focus on skill training of workers, and that led to thousands of people dying. And it also closed the factory, even destroying more livelihoods, because obviously jobs were stolen then. So Ford Motor Company restructuring, Ford implemented this when they were planning layoffs. They gave their uh, factory workers another chance, so that they trained them to work in the factory so that they could uh, do better, and the companies could focus more on the profits. The other solutions could be a specific crisis management plan, where we have to be prepared for everything. Employment well-being, which is Google Wellness program, which could be inspired by the Google Wellness program, where they hire psychiatrists and like all the fitness gym and all of those equipment, so as to foster the employees. And there should be a clear post-strike communication where we have to address concerns and rebuild trust that we might have lost from through these solutions, and by listening to them what they have to say. And the communication on the reputation part of the company, that the reputation has to be defended. It has to be that we have to engage the community and focus on what the positive change, all the changes that were done, what the positive aspect it brought rather than the negative part. And because it was said in a previous speech that we are laying off people at the same time, so we can't afford all of this to do for like our employees. But number one, the reputation of the company is the most important thing, because that's how people get to know you. And second, that uh, Indira Nui said this, which was the former CEO of PepsiCo, that it you can see it as expense now or an investment for the future. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I'd like to invite CHRO from Aryabhatta to present the solution.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello everyone, I, Vanshika, as the CHRO at Nokia, would be addressing the significant challenges that have emerged and came into the light during the 2021 strike at our Burkham factory that requires comprehensive and multi-phase strategy. Our primary HR issues include the lack of transparency, communication barriers, distrust among the employees, unexpected layoff without clear criteria, and major handling issues such as unpaid termination contracts. To resolve these problems and to foster a positive, productive work environment, we will be implementing several proactive strategies. First, to address the lack of transparency, we will use the evaluation statement method to regularly evaluate this employee performance and communicate results. This method will ensure that the employees are aware of their performance and the criteria used in the evaluation, thereby increasing the employee response rate by 60%. We will also include weekly updates via emails and making sure there is a good communication line between each other. To increase the employee engagement and morale, we will be conducting regular employee surveys to understand the concerns and the areas for improvement. Implementing recognition programs to acknowledge and reward employee contribution is also a part of our strategy. Our aim is to increase the employee engagement scores by 30% within a year. We recognize the importance of supporting our employees' mental health and well being. Therefore, we will be providing counseling and support services to help the employees cope up with the stress and anxiety that come with job. and set up a confidential helpline for the employees to discuss their concerns. Additionally, establishing an employee grievance center with regular checks by a head and an evaluation form filled by the employees will enhance the support and the trust of the employees. Our goal is to increase the employee assistant program utilization by 40% within the 6 months. To foster an open and supportive environment, we will ensure that the HR and the management have accessible to the employees for discussions and feedback, and implement an anonymous feedback system to encourage the employees to voice their concerns without the fear of retaliation. Our goal is to reduce the employee turnover rate due to dissatisfaction by 20% within a year. Regular crisis management training for the HR and the management, along with simulation exercises, will prepare the HR for potential crisis and improve the response timing. We will establish regular feedback mechanisms such as surveys, suggestion box, and focus groups, and use these feedback to make adaptable and actionable changes that will help us to communicate with the employees. Our goal is to increase the employee satisfaction rate by 25% within a year. Organizing annual events such as sports meets and other team building activities will also further strengthen the team spirit and enhance morals. We can also have a skip level meet with the employees where they can communicate and tell their immediate superiors what are the particular problems they are facing. Additionally, we will also offer competitive separation packages that include extended benefits, outplacement services, and financial planning assistance. Clearly communicating the details of these packages to affected employees will help us reduce the grievance and improve the satisfaction. Our goal is to create the satisfaction with severance packages by 50%. To build trust and improve our company's public image, we will have to take proactive steps. We are committed to making official contracts with the court to ensure the legal clarity and uphold our commitment to both our employees and stakeholders alike. Additionally, we will also conduct interviews with former employees to gather valuable insights and to learn from past experience, fostering transparency and continuous improvement. Furthermore, Furthermore, we will be taking efforts to clear any outstanding accounts promptly, demonstrating our dedication to the finance responsibility and fairness. In addressing termination fee, we will be ensuring the timely payment with the interest to the former employees, honoring our obligations and reaffirming our commitment to the ethical business practices. These initiatives aim not only to enhance the trust and the transparency, but to also strengthen our reputation as a responsible corporate citizen. By implementing these comprehensive strategies, we aim to address the core issues, improve the employee morale, and to foster a positive work environment. These initiatives underscore our commitment to building a workplace where every employee feels valued, supported, and empowered. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Aryabhatta, CHRO. So now your 5 minutes for discussion and questioning is started. You guys can question each other and discuss the related matter.
Yeah, so I would like to add that I like Karthik's one point that Airbnbs or I might be wrong. Airbnbs
Please on
use
your camera.
directly. My camera is on. Yeah. So I liked Karthik's point that a CEO, I think it was Airbnb, directly addressed the problem and like directly talk to the staff that he would be doing the layoffs and it is very difficult for him to, and involving them in the process too. So I think it for our future endeavors, and if we are if we again face this situation, we should implement this, that a public addressal should be given to the people that it is indeed needed, and competitive severance packages should be provided along that lines too. I like that point.
Yeah, I totally agree because if like we listen out to people and if we take in mind what they think, then it will obviously help to improve our customer base as well as like the base we employ, and because they will have positive feelings for us, they will
Yes.
work more efficiently. I had a question for Diptanshu. He said in his speech that like there were recognitions for the Taj. He gave a case study of Taj Hotel where the employees are, if they are praised, they are recognized. But like we are talking about factory workers here, they are like the forces no one knows about. So how will people ever appreciate them, or how will they ever get rewarded?
Yeah. So like if many workers and many employees in a company do their normal work just time to time, and if a manager sees that an employee is spending extra time and going overtime to finish a job that he wasn't able to, and giving extra time to that and giving extra care, as well as he is forming positive vibes in the factory, then he should be recognized then and there, and managers should notice little things that people go through every day. And if like it's not just recognition, it's also that point user involvement and recognizing that they exist, and they should not be just left like they do not exist, and they are also like machines. They should be treated as humans and recognized. Yes, the recognition in service industry is totally different, but here recognition is that you exist and you are important for us in that sense.
Tanshu, I have a point that I wanted you to address.
Yes.
One of the major reasons that you said that HR was facing was that strikes, because of strikes that happened due to and financial losses. How are you planning to address them as an HR, like particular strategy? Because you did not say it in a proper way, like explicitly, like what would be the exact strategy that you would be implementing to prevent that
Yeah,
strikes?
yes, I included that my implementation plan would be immediate, short term, and long term. And the immediate plan would be catered towards tackling the strikes that we are facing. For strikes, immediate feedback system should be established, and town halls should be conducted with with the higher managers in the factory itself, and the workers that are protesting, and the workers that are facing dissatisfaction, so that the workers can voice their opinions. Once the workers are able to voice their opinions, then in this situation, I think the Nokia company has already laid off those employees. So I don't know that if we would be able to again regain those employees, but we can certainly learn what are these employees facing, and what were the mistakes that we conduct what were the mistakes that we had, which we can improve in further rounds.
Okay, so you personally won't be doing anything to readdress like whatever those employees have gone through, right?
Yes, I would be readdressing them, but I would certainly be not be focusing on how to regain them back. And
Okay.
like, yes, I have a point that there was a violence in Maruti Suzuki's Manesar factory. So there, the major issue, there was like 100 employees were injured. General manager of HR was also killed. So the major important point that came out was that the managers of the factory were not on good terms with the unions present there. So I think for further analysis also, and for immediate action plan, we could have great like relationships with the union officers and unions there, because they actually control the narrative, and they are actually on the ground with workers present in the factory. So I think tackling with unions and having a great conversation with them would be nice.
I have a question for Vanshika.
Yeah.
I think you quoted in your speech that you are aiming for 640% of improvement in profits or something like that.
I didn't mention anything regarding the profits. The only percentage that I mentioned during my speech were this percentage that I was aiming for the personal employee satisfaction, as well as what I, as an HR, would be hoping with implementing these new strategies would happen in the company, and the changes that it would bring towards the communication area with the employees.
Could you please tell the percentage 640 with which field it was associated with?
I think it will. I think maybe there's a bit of pronunciation problem. I never mentioned 640 particularly, but I did mention 60% consumer employee satisfaction when we implement a proper communication channel as well as feedback from there. So there's the communication between the HR and the management and the employees can be properly solved, as well as by addressing their grievances and making proper plans with how to manage if, for example, there's a layoff, right? So to manage that situation properly by making proper plans for that and addressing how the previous employees, by addressing their financial needs, we can follow up with that, and that in that way the percentage of consumers the employees satisfaction would go up. And as well as by evaluation statement method, I think that was also a point in which I mentioned percentage, is that by evaluation statement method, where the employee's immediate head would be evaluating them on a weekly basis, they can know which areas they should focus on and the criteria in which they should work. So in this way, the performance level of the employees would also go and rise up in the percentage.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah, and Karthik, I have a small question I wanted to ask you. You mentioned that with the example of Google, that we can have ANBs and gyms, right, for consumer, like for the employees' satisfaction. But
Yeah.
okay, yeah, how are you going to cope up with that, with the financial losses that are happening in the company?
Basically, first of all, like in an office and in an office environment, all of these facilities in big major firms are already there as well. And like, if employees are being laid off right now, and uh, and because we had to like combat the challenges after the employees have been laid off and they are committing a strike now. So obviously, a new gym right off the bat won't be possible, but if we allocate our funds as an investment and work so as that the employees have a positive mindset while entering the doors of the company or the factory, they will work way harder, and the profits that we'll reap in the future will be more than what we have invested.
Okay, thank you.
I is something solution. You just answered. Am I audible? If anyone can just answer.
Sir, you're not audible, I think.
Yeah, I think he's trying to invite the judges to give the solution and feedback for the CHRO round.
Okay, so most of you did include all the relevant points, and it's nice to see how a human resources department is focused on solutions more than what has happened in the past. Just a few more points. I'm sorry if you guys have spoken that and I am missed out of that, because there's a lot of audio stimulations. Sometimes you tend to miss out on facts. But yeah, there's this concept in HR of workload and workforce analysis, very basic concept. Anybody could have mentioned that, which tells about how much an organization already has and how much they would want. So it's a proper analysis of the need of hiring, which stops an organization from extreme hire and fire kind of a scenario, which Nokia suffered from. Then when you mentioned about grievance procedure, so grievance procedure can be either an open door policy or a step ladder procedure. But I think because Nokia is a very big organization, you would have focused on how a step ladder procedure could have been implemented in the HR department, so that people don't have to go out on streets and have massive strikes. They can have their problems being put out in front of the management in a proper hierarchical manner. And number three is that Nokia could have done something in the basis of outplacement of candidates. So जिनको वो fire कर रहे हैं, there should be some alternative job or alternative skill building, something for them. Outrightly firing 6,000 employees is very outrageously unethical. and morally incorrect also. So something could have been done for them, maybe by placement in another job, maybe transfer to another department, or maybe a transfer to another firm in a lesser known role, but something on that scenario. So I know that you might have mentioned something in that aspect, but these are just my points which I thought I could tell. Otherwise, very well done.
I completely agree with Tanusha. I mean, that's what I had in mind as well. I mean, okay, I get it that Nokia would not have been able to provide jobs for those 6,000 employees, but maybe, career transition or multiple upskilling opportunities, something as a workshop or anything they could have done at least to portray that, yes, they care. That could not have tarnished their brand image as much as it did. But anyway, the fact was, yes, that happened and it could have been handled better. But yes, it was inevitable. Rest for this, I would say that HR team performed way better than the finance team. And I'm so happy to see the improvement like instantly. So good job, all three of you. I loved it. And let's see what operations have to offer now.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite
So we have
CEO from IIT Roorkee to start.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hello, my name is Aniket Agrawal, and I will be acting as the Chief Operations Officer for Nokia. So, currently, the task at hand that we have is that we are forecasting a demand for the 5G phones in the times, but according to our current forecasting, we cannot deliver, we cannot basically maintain our demand and supply. Let me segregate the different pain points that we have. We are currently facing component shortage, but in the last 6 to 8 months, we have seen that there is a shortage for 5G chips. We have a semiconductor shortage that we are currently facing in the technological market. The other companies are able to face that, but why not Nokia? Because Nokia in the year 2016 was dependent on Intel for the 10 nanometer chips that they had promised that they would give by 2016 or 2017, but they are still not out. So Nokia then any company would try to basically diversify their raw material. So Nokia did the same, and they got 3-layer chips. The chips, they're basically in 3 layers: the layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. So they took a Broadcom for their radio investments, so the radio chips, and Intel for layer 2 and 3, which did most of the computation for them. And the layer 1 was done by Marvel. But the thing is that in the other companies, the layer 1 is basically independent of the hardware and software, making it very easy to change the chip. So if we are using Intel for layer 1, we can easily shift to AMD because they have the same architecture. But since it was done by Marvel, Marvel did a very high encoding job for hardware and software integrating them, and it became very difficult to shift from Marvel. So Nokia is basically stuck with the same chips they are using. So I think to get rid of this problem, we should maybe invest on a research and development team and get industry experts on it, and try to get out of the system and go to the industry standards that are using the chips that can be easily swapped down. Now, coming to the logistical delays, we can invest in real-time networking so that we can easily we might have an idea if we have delays, we can easily so we can easily carry upon our future problem. I'm so sorry. So we can basically plan out our delays and can act upon it. And the forecast, we also have a lack of forecasting because we are usually having understocking of the inventory, or we are overstocked with our finished products. We are unable to supply it in the market because of the logistical delays. So to counter this, we can basically have some distribution centers in the peak locations. So we have less time. We'll have less distance to cover and can easily supply the products. We can have supplier collaboration by having long-term agreements with them. So we are prioritized on the raw materials, and also we should have a on contractual basis for the shipments because it will incentivize time-based deliveries. Okay. Yeah, with this I conclude my case assessment.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so as the CEO of Nokia, my main key points that I'll be focusing on are global access, usage of advanced technology, and building a strong relationship with customers and suppliers. So, for that, first, Nokia will expand its supply chain network to source critical components like semiconductor from regions that are known for the production of these components, such as Taiwan, South Korea, United States, to ensure a steady supply of chips. So, this involves negotiating contracts with multiple suppliers to ensure a steady supply of essential components. Next, we will set up regional centers. Now, regional centers will help us to establish a new production and distribution centers in high demand areas such as India and United States, where the scope of improvement is a lot. And this requires identifying suitable locations, acquiring facilities, and setting up manufacturing lines stable for 5G equipment. So this strategy will reduce lead times, will reduce the shipping cost because the centers are present in the regional areas itself, and it will also help us satisfy the customers and enhance their product qualities. Secondly, we are going to work upon advanced technology integration in our company. So, deploying of AI driven demand forecasting tools by partnering with technology firms specializing in AI. So, it will help us to improve inventory management accuracy by analyzing the historical data of the company and its competitors and the market trends, which will reduce instances of overstocking and understocking that we are currently facing. Now, this will estimatedly improve our inventory accuracy to 90% and reduce stock outs by 15%, enhancing customer satisfaction and operational efficiency. Now, integrating of IoT, which is like relatively a very new technology, sensors in warehouses and transit vehicles can provide real-time tracking of inventory and shipments, enabling proactive management of supply chain disruptions and ensuring timely delivery. Now, next up, we are going to automate our production and quality control. So, uh, um, yes, we will invest in robotics. Now, this is previously done by Samsung as well as Apple, which are our top competitors. So, this particular solution will definitely help us. So, we will invest in robotics for automated assembly lines and AI-powered vision systems for quality control. So, using robotics for assembly complex components can reduce production time and minimize human errors. So, implementing AI-driven system will enhance our quality inspection and can ensure high standards while reducing the manual errors. Next up is strengthening of supplier collaboration. So suppliers are really, really important for us. So to make sure that we are having a good relationship with them, we will have regular joint meetings and collaborative improvement initiatives with suppliers, which can help us to synchronize our supply chain activities, improving the reliability. Additionally, we will also provide them technical support and will help them to teach the small suppliers so that we as Nokia are getting the quality content that we have the standard of. Next up, we also want the feedback of customers to make sure that what we are doing is right. So for that, we are also going to establish a cross-functional team that is dedicated to supply chain optimization. Now, these teams will regularly review and refine the processes that we have recently applied in the company, and will give us feedback based on the matrices that is being produced around the company. And this approach will foster a culture of ongoing enhancement within Nokia. Now, to develop a customer portal that provides real-time updates on order status and delivery schedules, it will not only help us but also the customers to make sure that their products are not damaged in between and there are timely deliveries occurring at their place. Now, we need to make sure that we are relevant in the market, and to make sure that we have to keep up with the UNSDGs, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So to make sure that we are aligning by them, we will collaborate with suppliers to source recycled materials for 5G equipment, design products for easier disassembly and recycling, and adopt comprehensive lifestyle management practices. Now, this will achieve 20% reduction in carbon footprint through our company alone, and this will help us to establish as a company which takes care of themselves, their customers, as well as the nature, which will enhance the overall image of Nokia in the market. Thank you so much.
Now I'd like to invite the CEO.
Am I
Have you
audible?
asked them? Yeah, you are.
So, as the CEO of the Nokia, my strategy to optimize the supply chain and enhance production will be the following. So, first we'll talk about the major problems that the company is facing. So, the major problems include the poor inventory control of the company, the poor data analyzation, supplier relations, logistics, catching up with the market, and we can also see the dropping revenues that are dropping at huge percentage every year. So, to overcome these, I have some solutions in the mind, which can include the market research team. Investing in a good market research team will help Nokia to know about its competitors and have good market analysis. When we invest in this team, it will help us to know about the competitors prices. As we all know, when we launch a product, and having an Indian uh, consumers, they all want that we have low prices for the product and better quality. So when we keep track of a competitor prices, we'll know that if the price we are giving out for a product will be able to meet the demands of the customer or not. Then we can go for the pre-launch booking to have better idea of the required inventory. By pre-launching, we will know that response of the customers to our upcoming new model, if they're interested to buy it or if they don't. Also, we can go for the customer feedback, or we can go for the polls, which will help us to know what new technologies are required by the customer to for the upcoming models.
Long-term agreements can be made with the suppliers, which help us to secure a stable supply of essential components. This can provide better pricing and priority access during shortages. Also, it will help us to overcome the problem of the logistics, as the supplier will already know when the raw materials are required for our factory. Also, we can opt for the outsourcing. We can see the major issue is of logistic can be suppressed a little through this method. By outsourcing, we will cut off our transportation to less times, as because we were before transporting different raw materials from different places, which were leading to delays and delay in assemblation and manufacturing of the product. But in outsourcing, the final product can be imported directly, and it will help us to cut the time of transportation also, as only one final product will come. And also automation, rather than the manufacturing side, automation can be done in the you know warehousing side, which will help us to know about the inventory, how much is left and how much we need more. uh, Quality assurance, so we'll give quality assurance to the customers, which will help us to boost off our sales. This can be done by continuous improvement. We need to establish a culture of continuous improvement in our company, which will focus on the quality and customer satisfaction. So we have to regularly review the production, and also we should have customer feedback. Actively we should seek and incorporate customer feedback. We can do it through polls, we can do it through you know live sessions also, and interaction with customers. So a customer centric approach can lead to better products and higher customer satisfaction. Also, to increase our sales, we can have a influencers collab, because these days more of our teams are into new technologies rather than the adults. So to grab their attention, we can have influencers collab, because teens these days are no more into celebrities. Rather, the local influencers will help us to capture the market locally. Other than that, we can contact multiple suppliers. If we are not able to outsource, we can shift locally, but we need to ship from multiple suppliers, because it will help us to get many amount of the raw material. Variants of same model for customer with different budgets can be launched, because only uh, launching one model will lead to customers thinking with whether I should buy it or not. For example, also in many other brands like Samsung, in their S series also, they always launch four type of models: a normal S series, a FE version, a ultra version, and a pro version. So Nokia can also do this thing with their models. Also, we can start supplying the final product directly to the customers. The major issue with Nokia is that it doesn't have a direct to customers relation. First, it goes through middlemen. So by cutting off the middlemen, it will help the customers to get the product of the Nokia at a lower pricing and also at an early time. Also, we will be conducting polls at we'll be conducting polls whenever possible, which will help us to know if we need any improvements in different areas of our company. Also, seeing the production is also a major cost, so we'll go for piece weight system, which will help the employees, the manufacturing team to get motivated and produce more. And also fatigue study. So fatigue study will help the team to get rest on the required times, or which will increase the capacity to produce more. That's all I have to say from my side.
That's great. I like the points that you guys mentioned. Just a few suggestions again. One point could be so basically, one suggestion from my side is that which I could see lacking in all these three speeches was the technical aspects of operations management. So, if you see operations management as a subject has a lot of technicalities, right? When you talk about inventory management, there's a concept of safety stock. There's a concept of EOQ, that is economic order quantity, that is the ideal amount of units that any business or company should purchase to meet the demand while minimizing the inventory cost, the holding, like the storage and other costs. So that is something that you guys could have mentioned. We can also talk about vertical marketing, vertical system. The value chain may a business goes above. Um, Sorry, as a judge I started speaking, I don't know about a time limit. So basically in the value chain, when you go above the value chain, आप खुद manufacturer बन जाते हो, so that when you're facing the supply shortages, तो आप chip maker खुद भी बन सकते हो. Yeah, you can work with major chip makers to secure long term supply agreements. And for logistic delays, I think yes, inventory management, which I already spoke, and alternative shipping routes that could be emphasized. One important technique that I could not find in your speeches was about lean management. So lean management is a very important OM concept which talks about eliminating waste in production workflows. So it can help you in optimizing production lines, reducing your lead time, and minimizing unnecessary inventory holding. So this is my suggestion. Otherwise, well done.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, the CEO case studies for the discussion. You all are invited to ask the questions to each other and get in the discussions. Your time has
Hello.
started.
Hi. So
So
I had a question. Okay. Yeah.
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 So I have a question for Rananshi. Okay,
Yes.
so you gave an approach that we should convert from D2B or B2B to D2C, basically directly supply to the consumers. Our product should be
Yes.
directly. But don't you think that if we are directly supplying to the consumers and not in the retail stores, we will have less marketing and we will not have word of mouth for the customers. The
I
customers
think you
that
did understand my point clearly. See, you can see when you go into market, we have different stores for different brands. Like we have the store for Oppo, we have store for Samsung, right? But
yeah.
what's wrong with Nokia is that we don't have a specific store for Nokia. It's only through middlemen that you won't find any store that has a holding name as Nokia. It's always some communication, SK communication, and etc. communications. It's never Nokia.
So you
So
are saying that we need to have a service center
we
for
have to have
Nokia.
with stores for customers. That is
So that is basically
done by them.
franchisee owned businesses, not that we are having D2C. Basically means that we're directly supplying from our warehouses to the customers. We don't have anything in the middle, but we need some stores. We need some basic middlemen so that we can directly market to the customers.
How can you supply directly from your warehouse to your customers without
Yeah,
any platform?
that's what I'm asking.
But when
When
you're
you said that
supplying
we
through
will
your
directly
company
supply to,
store, that means you're talking directly to the customer, no?
no, it is not.
Though no
There is a
middleman is
middleman.
coming in between the company and the customer when you're supplying directly to the company store. What do you
So
think
you
these
are
the brand stores which we have, the Samsung brand and the Oppo, there are no middlemen in it.
we have retail stores. We have hundreds and thousands of stores in every shop because without that, if you
There are
only
two
have a company
different
owned
things,
store.
having a brand store and giving your brands at a person to sell them. There are two different things. There are two
So
different concepts.
you are saying that we don't need a person. We just need a brand store to sell
Yeah,
our
we
product.
need a brand store because Nokia doesn't have any brand store. Others do.
See, we have a
Okay,
10%
guys,
market share.
we have 5 minutes for discussion, and we can't
Yeah,
stretch one
I just
question
need
for
Yeah.
so long.
I
So
just
let's
need to put
just
one
move to
point.
next question. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so we have 10% market share for Oppo. Oppo and OnePlus is owned by Oppo. OnePlus currently does not have any store in India. They closed down all the 5,000 stores that they had in India, but they still have a good market share. That means that we need to have third-party dealers to sell our products. That's all I wanted to say.
After that, OnePlus also dropped. We all know that.
But still, they
Their revenues
have
dropped after that because
they have a significant market
eventually
share
you have
currently.
to pay some commission to the third party dealers, and that will again impact the customers because third party dealers always sell at a higher price, and when customers see higher pricing, that will lead them to think that, see, especially Indian customers, they need a little, less pricey things and quality things. So having third party will lead to think that customers will think we'd rather buy the other phone who is giving directly because they're selling for cheap.
But
There's a
that is the
difference in
customer
terms of
acquisition cost that
MRP
we need to
and
have.
factory price. We all know that, right?
That is
So
customer
thank you so
acquisition
much,
cost. Okay, yeah.
Ritanshi, that
Yeah, yeah,
I'll just
continue,
ask the
sorry.
question to
Go ahead.
Aniket because
Yeah.
it's very time consuming now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you basically most of your speech was technical stuff, but you did mention about setting up distribution centers.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you that what are the criteria that you are gonna impose on the distribution centers, including that the geographical criteria, that what
Yeah.
are the things that you are focusing on to choose a particular distribution center, and also how are you gonna decide the task force for it?
So basically, I would try to take the centers as metro cities or the second tier urban cities, because they would have great connectivity via rail routes and road routes. And the criteria that I would have is that they should have at least I would fix a basic turnover or a security amount that I would need basically, like in India, when we take any dealership, they do have a criteria quarterly basis, like 25 lakhs they have to sell in one quarter, or they have to buy at least in one quarter. So I would have to set up that. So basically, like 1 crore revenue or 1 crore of products they have to buy in a year, so they can supply.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah,
Basically,
I
in the
have
I
a
warehouse
had a
question
should.
for
question.
you.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Can I go on?
Just
Yeah, so Isha,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have a
you can
question
go.
for you. We both talked about automation, right? But the only difference was you talked about automation in the manufacturing sector, whereas I talked about automation in the inventory control sector. So, see, we are already going through a dropping prices, right? Dropping revenues we can see in the company from past 5 or to 6 years. We only had a price, revenue increase during 2007. So, how do you plan to bring automation when you are already going through a dropping revenues?
Okay, so my what I personally planned for the funding of automation was reallocation of existing budgets. So we have a lot of budget going on in R&D and other operational budgets for strategic inventions. So what we can do, we are going to cut off some budget from there, and since if we are enabling automation in our company, that will help us to reduce our costs in the longer run. So if we are seeing from the future perspective, it is only going to be financially beneficial for us. So right now, cutting off cost from some other arenas in our company, which is not that relevant now. I think that's
So you
how we can.
suggest R&D department, right, to cut the
R&D is
cost?
just an example. I'm not suggesting R&D specifically. We can R&D and other sectors combined. I'm saying not R&D
If we
specifically.
see the major issue Nokia fell was because they were not able to cope up with the market, and for
Hmm.
that we need a good R&D team. You can't, we can't be able to get budget from them and reallocate it to some another place. It will be a major issue.
See, Nokia is suffering from, as you said, the Nokia is suffering from research and development. But the thing is that when we automate our things, R&D is working for this particular department for a really long time now, and now if we cut off the budget, some of the budget from the R&D team and apply it or the automated team, whatever funds that we will get from it, we will further allocate it to the R&D team. Because अगर हमारा product ही नहीं जा रहा है, अगर हम automate करके हमारा product अच्छे से बिक रहा है, हमारे पास ज़्यादा revenue आ रहा है, so it's beneficial for us only ना, फिर हम उसे R&D पे फिर से लगा सकते हैं if we find the need for it.
Okay, I'll just end my question by saying that I think automation is really pricey and it can't be done with by cutting a little budget from one department and reallocating it. Thank you.
Thank
Actually,
you.
just a second. That was the last question for this case. Even. No more questions onward. All right.
I'd like to invite Miss Sanskriti to give a concluding note.
Hello, everyone. Okay, very, very well done. Operations, I mean, I loved it. And I really think, especially this discussion part, was very good. Why? Because you three genuinely listened to what the other person had to offer and questioned, correct, like raised the correct questions. I mean, you have got brownie points for this discussion part as well. So, loved it. You were well prepared. You knew what you were talking about, and the efforts show. So, I really think operations very well done. So I could say that yes, finance maybe it could have performed better if it would have come like at the second position or the third position. But I'm just glad that you all had that ability to adapt and learn from the feedback that we gave and eventually improvise as we went ahead. So very, very well done. And overall, all three teams very well done. I just hope that there was a little more problem analyzing and including part in the first half of the competition, but the operations and HR definitely made it up for finance. So great job.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, moving towards the conclusion, I would like to invite the judges to the other meet while the participants can interact with each other.
Yeah, through this we have come to an end of the speech and discussion round of the high table, and I request the judges to join the links sent on their personal group. Till then, the participants are requested to wait here for 10 to 15 minutes. Your results will be prepared till then. So for this 10 to 15 minutes, we are going. Let's make it as an icebreaker session. So let's get to know each other from as we are from. We have teams from IIT Roorkee, that's an engineering aspect, and we have teams from Delhi University, which is known for the arts and commerce. So I would like to call upon the IIT Roorkee team to share the nitties and gritties of the working and functioning of their
firstly, we have the finance team. So, the CFO winner is Aryabhatta College. A huge round of applause for Aryabhatta. Virtual applause. I think we have. Do we have the option? Yeah, we do. Nice to see the enthusiasm
Thank
running in.
you.
So, Sanskriti, you announced the human resources one.
Okay, so human resources one, I would say that was a very close call. I mean, two colleges performed really well, but then we decided to go ahead in the favor of NSUT. So congratulations, NSUT. You performed really well, and we loved it. We loved that. So, amazing.
Yeah, that was very a close call. So even Aryabhatta performed really, really well in that. And coming to our last subject, that is operations. So that was a discussion I think we mutually loved the most, because that was the most insightful discussion. Right questions asked, right parameters told, and so in that we have the winner as NSIT again. So a huge round of applause, and that was great. I think our insights or whatever we told as suggestions help you guys in your future competitions, both the organizers and the participants, and a lot of best wishes to you for your career.
And, if I'm not wrong, Isha was the one, right, for the
Yeah.
last round.
Yeah, it was the
Loved you personally. For me, you were the hero
Thank
for
you.
today.
Thank you so much.
Even we had a
Loved it the
discussion.
way.
You were the best
Exactly.
throughout in all departments, I think.
In all departments and in all. Loved it. Loved the way you do stuff. So, congratulations.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap for the event. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah.
Invitation and joining us.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
go ahead.
afternoon, everyone. I, Tanisha, Vice President of ESL Aryabhatta, would like to thank our esteemed judges for taking out time from their busy schedules to give us their valuable insights today. We would also like to show our deepest gratitude to our teachers as well as the participants for making this event a great success. My deepest thanks to each one of you, and may you all excel in all the endeavors and journeys you embark on. We hope to see you at the next edition of the High Table. Thank you so much for joining in.